You are listening to As a Woman, episode 24, Share Your Goals. In this episode, we are talking about your goals, how to identify them, how to break them down, and why it is so important that you share them with others. I'm talking about my biggest example of how sharing my goals and sharing my fears has led to one of the best goals and adventures of my life. Join in and listen to my challenge for you this week.
Welcome to As a Woman, the podcast hosted by fertility physician Dr. Natalie Crawford to educate and empower women. Each week, learn about your health, your fertility, and how they relate to your true self. Become a part of the community fostering collaboration over competition while learning how to authentically find your voice and amplify others as a woman.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to As a Woman. You are listening to episode 24, Share Your Goals. Now, this is something I'm super passionate about. I know you all are well aware that I constantly ask everybody, what is your goal? You can be a patient in my office. You can be a medical student asking for advice. You can be my very best friend. You can be anybody. I want to know what's your goal. Why are you doing the things that you are doing? And we're going to work through a little bit about why goal setting is so important and some basic principles for how I believe we should go about this. Also, the bulk of this episode is going to be sharing about a big goal of mine and why I think it is so important to share your goals, even though it's really scary. I'm going to give a couple big examples of some of the most exciting things that are happening in my professional life and how they all stemmed from me sharing a goal and sharing my fears and having people support me, encourage me, and work with me. I'm going to start by saying I am releasing a 90-day goal setting workshop, which is ridiculous to me. And I'm really, really excited. It is going to take, if the things in this episode are resonating with you, that is an opportunity for you to go sign up and dive a little more in depth. One of my long-term goals, so not the one I'm going to talk about here, but if I dive in and I'm honest, and I've talked about this before, is to be able to reach more people and encourage you all to live as authentically as possible. And I would love doing that through more intense sessions than you can certainly get in an Instagram post or even from just listening passively to a podcast. Have you figured out I'm just trying to bring you more and more into my world? First, you follow me on Instagram and you like and comment on a post. Now you are listening to my thoughts, but passively, maybe while you're commuting or working out. And I love it so much. So thank you. But I really want to help get you to that next step. And that is where you learn how to focus in and drown out the other noise, figure out what's in your heart, and make an action plan to make it happen. That's step number one. And so this is a little foray into that. So it's just a one-time workshop. It includes video, worksheet, etc. And you can find all that information over on my blog, nataliecrawfordmd.com. And hopefully that is the start for me for being able to bring you more in-depth content and more opportunities to really dive in and explore yourself with whatever goal it is. I would love to have courses later about natural fertility and mentorship or becoming authentic, just life as a woman. But those are still bigger dreams and not ones that I'm working on at the current moment. I always think that goal setting is really important because what I find is that on a microscopic level, so many of us are really, really busy. In fact, if I ask you, what is your number one barrier to success? 90% of you would probably tell me time. Time is the number one thing standing in the way for you to make changes in order to accomplish the things you want to do. And that is my point number one. If you want to grow, if you want to make changes, if you want to accomplish big things, hell yeah. I mean, you should want to. This is your one life. There is 0% reason why you shouldn't dream big or try to achieve things and work towards goals you're passionate about. But the truth is, it's going to take work. You're not just going to get things handed to you because you're a doctor or a lawyer or you're pretty or you're in good shape or you're beautiful, whatever. Things are not going to get handed to you. If you want to make an impact on the world, It is going to take time. It is going to take work. So we better have an idea of what we're working for and how we're going to get there. Otherwise, we're not moving. I'll use the analogy, we're just sitting there cycling on the Peloton bike with all these great ideas and work, but we're not going in any direction, and we've got to have direction. We have to know where we want to go. And so I really think it is important that we identify where we are trying to go. I also think it's huge to say, hey, goals change. You are a person and you are going to live your life and you're going to experience things. And some things are going to be amazing and some things are going to suck. But regardless of the things we go through, they change us. We experience things. We come out as a different person. And friends, that is good. We are supposed to change. We are supposed to grow. We are supposed to evolve. So it is completely okay. In fact, it is preferred if your goals change over time. So we don't need a month-by-month guide for how we're going to achieve something in 5 years. We just need to know where we want to be in that time frame. And then what do we need to do in the current moment to start working in that direction? And point number 3 is that your goals should excite you. Like, they should really excite you. They should not feel like tasks on a to-do list. They should not feel like these cumbersome things. They should not be a burden on your heart. And if they are wrong. Okay? Women, I'm generalizing, but overall, I believe that a lot of women really do not set goals that are true to themselves. We like to please people. I mean, I know I do. And so we set goals that others have put on us, or society expects from us, or our mentor wants us to achieve, or our spouse, or our best friend, or our parents, or our husband, or whoever. It doesn't really matter. The truth is, somebody else expects something from you or wants something for you. And very often we just absorb that goal passively and start working toward it without ever stopping to acknowledge if that's a true goal or not. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to edit your life ruthlessly. And I want you to start with your goals and look at what you're doing and the things you're giving your time to and see if all of that makes sense for what you want out of your life. And so if you take the goal planning workshop, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, well, here, I'll tell you. The first thing is I want you to take 3 deep breaths. There's some other things before that, but this is the first real thing. And so why don't we do that right now while we're on this podcast together? Are you ready? Okay. I've never breathed like that on the podcast, so there's a first time for everything. But I'm hoping that 3 deep breaths and silence minus my breath here on your radio has let you feel a little calmer. It really does for me, and I think it's important to clear out what's in your mind. So that was step 1. Next, I want you to take the time to think about what you are grateful for, because I know you're grateful for things. Very often, we do not take the time needed to ever stop and reflect or celebrate all the good things around us, the accomplishments that we have achieved, the things we have worked for, and all the really good things in our life. Like for me right now, I have 2 kids that are healthy. One has a GI bug, but overall I have 2 healthy kids. 2, I have a great tribe. They are even letting us do the 4th of July for the Christmas parade. I mean, we have a float, a truck, and a trailer. We've got Christmas trees, matching shirts, Christmas candy, Christmas music, reindeer ears. I'm so excited. Okay, but not everybody would support your crazy passions the way my tribe does. So that's amazing. And 3, I'm really thankful for a strong work environment and a team that has really helped me through a hard transition. So I've made a huge career transition this year, and this team at my new office is really supportive and amazing. I can't even count the number of cards I have gotten from team members or little gifts or treats encouraging me, thanking me, supporting me, comforting me. Those things are so meaningful. And I'll wrap up my gratitude list by my rock star husband, Jason, who does it all. He keeps our house afloat, keeps the kids alive, keeps me fed, and supports all of these crazy things like, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. Can we go to the Container Store and get me a desk for my closet? Please, please, please. Or I'm going to go to Dallas to plan a conference because I really want to do this conference for women in medicine. Can you watch the kids for the whole weekend? Okay, I love you. Thanks. Bye. All the things. He even goes to events with me and just is enjoying the crazy ride. We're taking the kids on all the trips and living it up right now. So he's indulging me in all the things that I am really passionate about. And that's really what you need in a partner. So I am thankful. But that's my list, and I know you have your own. And so you should think about those things and celebrate them or be really thankful for them and realize you've got some good things going on. I mean, you may have some sucky things going on too. Trust me, I get it. This past year has been full of a lot of change for me, and not every moment has been awesome. So I understand that your life may not be rainbows and butterflies and roses. That's totally normal. That's the cycle that we normally have in life. You're going to have ups and downs. At any given moment, though, I'm sure there are still things you are thankful for. And that's what I want you to hone in and celebrate. The next step here is I really want you to get in a place where you have a way to release all the things that are in your brain. And there's a bajillion different ways you can do it, whether it's a notebook or a life planning document on your computer desktop. I highly recommend that. But anyway, so you can get the thoughts that are in your brain onto paper or onto a different medium, because seeing things in words or print helps you look at them more. So driving or running and just thinking about abstract thoughts is really great for clearing your mind. But afterward, you need to dump it, a brain dump, onto some physical place so you can evaluate all the things you are thinking and all the things in your mind. And the last thing is I really want you to think about what's your real goal. That's, remember, episode 1. Can you believe we're 24 episodes in, guys? That's where we started. Episode 1 was, what is your goal? What are you really trying to do? What are you trying to do with this life? What is it? That is super broad, but I love the concept that whatever it is you're really trying to do, how are you going to get there? It must inspire you. There must be a purpose. And it can be really broad. It can be, I want to inspire women, educate people, be a great surgeon, raise good human beings, be the first president, walk on the moon, dance in the American ballet. I mean, I don't care. Some of these are not my goals. I'm just throwing things out there. But what is it on a big picture that you want to do? And then how do we scale that into littler versions? Because dreaming big is nothing if there's not something tangible that really comes from it. And I'm going to dive into that a little bit. I dive into that a lot on the 90-day goal planning workshop, really breaking down how do you get from these big concepts into action steps of things you can do in 90 days. But I'm going to diverge here and take this into some examples for me of how I am doing smaller goals that really relate to a bigger professional purpose for me. So my professional purpose or goal has really shifted over time. For eons, it was to be a great doctor. And I love doctoring. I'm a really great one. But I love doctoring. And somewhere along the way, I realized that my goal was actually bigger than that. My goal is to empower women. And that's like a really big goal, right? Like that could mean whatever. But what I really took it as, I really wanted to empower women to be the best version of themselves or to live authentically, to be educated women who are working toward purpose. And I really wanted to show that you can do that in the context of being a good spouse or a good mother and all of those things. It doesn't mean that other goals are not important to me. Of course, I want to raise good human beings, but this professionally to me really has overtaken what I'm trying to accomplish. And as a fertility doctor, I certainly want every patient to be pregnant. I mean, I want every patient to be pregnant. And so don't take it lightly when I say it destroys me when somebody's not pregnant, even though I know the odds are the odds. In the very best case situation, we're looking at a 70% chance of pregnancy. Destroyed. 30% of the time, totally destroyed over here. That's me. But that being said, that destruction is really hard to overcome if you're just trying to please your patients all the time. And I found myself really losing myself in the journey of caring for women struggling with infertility. So I decided consciously that empowering women, meaning being the best version of you on the journey and understanding your body, because very often women are not as educated about their fertility as we should be. That if I could put the power back in your court, if you could then take knowledge and understanding and make active decisions that are best suited for you, can't control the outcome. I'm working my hardest no matter what. But at least you could be a more empowered, educated, and your own advocate on your fertility journey. And it's going to be better for you, even if the end result is not a baby in your arms. That led to an even broader purpose to want to empower women, meaning women in medicine, the biases that we all face. When I started realizing that my experiences were not unique to me, that everybody else was having them too, I really wanted to share those stories. And that's where this whole podcast was born from, right? That's as a woman where it is rooted in this desire to educate and to empower. And there was a period of time I was kind of like, what am I doing on Instagram? I have a lot of followers. That's amazing. And I'm putting things out here. But sometimes the person who needs to see whatever I'm putting doesn't see it because of algorithm or whatever. And it felt like I was a gerbil on one of those wheels. Are it gerbils, right? Or hamsters, whatever it is, on one of those wheels. I guess I could use the Peloton example. Anyways, I felt like I was working and going nowhere. So I decided that I needed to take control of my content more. And that's where the podcast started, because I felt like, hey, if you want to hear about sharing your goals, come on over, friend. Or if you want to hear about egg freezing or age or PCOS, the contingent life, any of the stuff, you could hear about the stuff. And that was really important to me. And you guys have blown my mind. And I want to take it a step further because my goals are changing as I'm realizing the power within different platforms. I want to reach more people. So back to sharing your goals. So I went through a tough job transition, and in the fall, I was having a really hard time, and I reached out to some dear friends seeking advice and sharing some fears about what to do next. And the truth is, I uncovered a shared experience. Other people had felt the exact same way I was feeling, and what grew from conversations led to Rupa Wong, so Dr. Rupa Wong, saying, this is what we all go through. Don't you wish there was an opportunity for us to empower women in medicine to learn the things we were never taught, to learn about our goals and finances and negotiation and contracts and leadership and branding and marketing and networking and all of those things? Could we take these things that we feel like we had to learn over time through trial and error, through back secret door channels of talking to people, and put them on the stage and have women come and hear this and connect with a common message? All right, well, that really resonated with me. So I was sharing vulnerability and openness. Woe is me. Look at all this hard time, getting good advice. And a friend brought up something that was so in line with my overall goal. And we said, we should do this. Side note, when Rupa asks you to do anything, you just do it. I mean, she is amazing. And she approached myself and Danielle Jones and Pam Mehta, and we were the ones who were on this kind of group text message thread. And she said, I want to do this. These things we are talking about in our careers, these career changes we have made, the things we are not happy with, we need to change this for women. Right? Hell yeah. I mean, who says no to that? And so we started on a journey If you had asked me a year ago, I would have been like, planning a conference, I mean, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm not really sure about it. From the moment we all resonated with this idea, it is in line with all of our overall goals. Things just started getting done, man. We set a timeline, delegated roles, just started working and moving forward. And we are freaking excited about Pinnacle. Pinnacle is for women in medicine. And what we are looking to do is have a networking conference with CME where all of these things that we feel like as women we were not exposed to or not taught are going to be uncovered. And we're just really thrilled about it. I was able to spend last weekend in Dallas with Rupa, Danielle, and Pam, and we went through the spaces and really thought through what the day and the event and the experience should feel like. We are thrilled to bring it to everybody. This is a vision coming to life in front of us. I mean, it's not cheap, guys. We've put thousands and thousands of dollars down to hold spaces. We're going fancy at the Four Seasons, but we want this to be a combination of a retreat and a life-changing learning event, mixed in with champagne and networking and dancing. And I'm really rooting for our gala to be cocktail dresses and boots, like cowboy boots, guys. This is Texas. Come on. But I digress. The point here is that 1, we're hosting a conference. 2, it's going to be amazing. 3, save the date, December 6th through 8th, 2019, Dallas, Texas. We're starting Friday night with cocktails at 8 p.m. so you can work or travel or get there. We've got you all day Saturday and Saturday night, and Sunday morning you'll be done around 8 in the morning. And it's going to be amazing. I've been really humbled by the response since we've been sharing on social media, how many people have signed up for the email list and who are ready to be there, because it is going to be limited. But this is an example of a really tangible goal that is in line with my overall, what am I trying to do, professional goal. This is an event that will empower women. That is the whole purpose. Now, within this conference, there's about 1 bajillion micro goals, and those are important to identify too, meaning we've got to get sponsors and money, and we had to get a space, and we had to ask speakers and agree on a date and get to Dallas and do all of these things. A lot of little goals had to come together and are still coming together in order to make this happen. But that's the point, is that you need goals that are helping you get somewhere. If I want to empower women, guys, I got to start empowering women. I've got to give you opportunities to come and to experience and reflect and make a difference for you. But the real point is that this all came out of vulnerability, of sharing our fears and sharing these big dreams, meaning I'm not happy in my job. I don't feel like I'm being appreciated. I don't know what to ask for. I don't understand what I'm worth. Do you even think they would give that to me? How do I even go about doing that? I don't even know where to start. Basic fears and questions talked about with friends and peers then led to an idea that really became an amazing goal. So in sharing your goals, sharing your fears and vulnerabilities, that is how you start to really uncover where your passions are and the things that are important to you. It is also important to share goals to stay accountable. 1, because accountability is really important. You have a lot going on in your life, girl. As we talked about earlier, a lot of things are pulling at you, trying to take your time, trying to drag you in. That's all really super normal, friends. But having somebody who keeps you accountable is a really great way to get to where you want to go. Whether it's somebody who's on the journey with you, hey, Pam and Danielle and Rupa, we're on this together, guys. Or is it just somebody who loves you and cares about you, who wants you to achieve your goals and dream really big? And I'm going to go into another example here. I want to empower women. Have you figured that out yet about me? And I really believe that education is part of the battle here. So Pinnacle is looking to educate women in medicine so that we can be our most empowered selves professionally. What about all my fertility women who I want them empowered? And I really think it starts before you get into my office. So a big pipe dream of mine for a long, long time has always been to write a book. I know everybody wants to write a book, but I love books and I'm very nerdy. And when I was a child, I'm very introverted. I know everybody doesn't believe me, but the only way I can do a podcast is because I'm in my closet, guys. I'm just hanging out with my clothes. But I would be caught with Nancy Drew and the Babysitters Club, and that was my life. And I always dreamed about reaching people with words. And I really think that's part of why Instagram really resonated with me, because you have the ability to leave text that can really impact or educate or move somebody. So for a long time, I've been thinking I wanted to write a book, but not at all sure about how I would go about it. I mean, I know nothing about writing a book. Nothing. I had somebody reach out to me. I had my amazing agent reach out. She's my agent now, but I didn't know her at the time. And she liked my Instagram and she liked my writing specifically. I think she could care less about my filters and my pictures. And she asked if I thought that I had a book in me. And I responded immediately. I was like, yes, I would love to write a book. And we started talking about ideas. And to me, it's a fertility book with empowerment and education, really trying to reach women before they get to that place where they need to see me. So trying to make a bigger difference earlier in the life of an individual woman by educating her about what is normal and what is not, and empowering her along the journey. Well, oh my goodness, she liked my idea. That's amazing. And so she said, okay, great, let's write a book proposal. Holy cow, guys, do you know what a book proposal is? It is like 20,000 words of a bunch of things about you, your overview, your idea, an entire table of contents, examples of your every chapter, a sample chapter at the back, and compares them to all the other books that are out there that are in your lane. It is a ton of work and has taken months and months and months and been edited and gone back and forth. My point here is not to say I wrote a book proposal, although I want you to celebrate your wins. So guys, I wrote a book proposal and my agent likes it, and it is being released into the wild or to the publishing world tomorrow. And that is crazy and amazing and awesome. And I'm thrilled and scared and nervous and have no idea what will come after. But my point here is back to the point, not to celebrate the book proposal, even though it feels like a huge accomplishment. It's how I got it done. So the people along the way who I shared said goal with and who believed in me and said things like, Nat, yeah, I'll read that chapter for you. Yeah, send me those titles or subtitles. Let me look over your table of contents. Let me share it with my best friend who's trying to get pregnant. Or let me send this back and make edits. Sweet Renee Paro, who reviewed all the grammar and gave me so much feedback, I love you to the moon and back. Thank you for encouraging me and supporting you. To my sister Megan, thank you so much. Thank you for having Kelsey read it and for bringing it to light of what maybe a generation of women who are younger than I are really looking for when it comes to knowing their body. To my mom, thanks, Mom. You're always a good cheerleader. It means a ton to me. To my husband, who gave me lots of time to work on it. I already praised you once, but look, you got it twice. And to Laura Shaheen, who is a great, great friend and has self-published many books and helped celebrate the journey with me. I was really scared to tell anybody I want to write a book because it's a really big thing. That's a really big goal. And to announce it out loud into the world is acknowledging that you may fail. And that's what goals are, right? They are opportunities to succeed or to fail. And we likely will not achieve every goal we set out to accomplish. So it is scary. It is opening yourself up to being vulnerable. But if you are being true to yourself, you must open up and be vulnerable if you want to do anything great. And you want to do great things. I know that about you, and you are able to do great things. But first, you must look inside. You must understand what your big goal is and what are the other goals that help you accomplish that. What is it that you want to achieve? What are those great things? You must identify it. You must come up with a plan. You must believe in yourself. You must be passionate about it. And you must share it with people. Life is about shared experiences. So share your experiences. Do not be afraid to open up your heart, admit your truth, and go for it. Let people support you along the way Do it with your best friends. Look and dream and go for it. I'm going to wrap up there. I'm going to wrap up with a few different things. So, one, thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode about sharing your goals. I really believe that we must set goals if we want to accomplish things, and that friends are the best supporters that there are. So let people in. Number two, I'm really excited about some of these things coming up. So all of you who are sending me like sparkle hand emojis about the book, thank you so much. That's going to be a very long time before you can ever read it because this process takes years or something. But anyways, thank you. Number three, Pinnacle Conference is going to be amazing. If you want to stay up to date, go to pinnacleconference.org. Right now, that is a website that links to an email list. The website will be going live next week. Registration will be opening probably in 1 to 2 weeks. We will let you know as soon as possible. Those on the email list will become the first notified, and registration is very limited. So please go and check it out if you are a woman in medicine. pinnacleconference.org. You can also follow us on Instagram at Pinnacle Conference. Number four, the 90-day goal setting workshop. So if any of this resonated with you as far as setting goals or not knowing where to start or how to take them into an action plan, I have a workshop. The workshop is going into pre-sale starting today, like as soon as I'm done recording this. So by the time you hear it, you could buy it. It is a purchase course. So a few things. I'm starting to monetize this platform, one, because I have big dreams and I want to bring you more things. And I need a team. I need a virtual assistant. I need people who are going to help me get to the next step. Guys, people cost money. I would love to have a team and be able to pay somebody, like somebody could get their earning from helping us grow as a woman. That to me blows my mind. But in order to do that, we're going to start making money off things. One is that you may see sponsors on this podcast really soon. I'm making sure they're not going to be crazy things, but they're probably going to happen. So there you go. Number two, there probably will be very select Instagram sponsoring of things that I feel really passionately about. I'm protective of that space, but hey, if it can help pay someone's salary, let's do it. And number three, starting to sell courses. And the first one is this goal setting workshop. So it's going to go live on July 8th. Before then, it will be sold for $47. And after that, we will go up to its regular price of $97. Going to give my last plug to Megan. Meg, you are a great sister. And I appreciate you never making me feel dumb when I ask you all the dumb questions. Tech is not my forte. I am constantly impressed by you. Your grasp of the different platforms and of what you can do with it is impressive and powerful. Thank you for inspiring me, pushing me, encouraging me, and making me feel like I can do things that I'm not quite sure if I can do myself. But she definitely has been crucial in getting me from point A to point B when it comes to this workshop. And so I cannot wait to have some of you check it out. And if you take the workshop and you like it, I would love to know what direction you'd love to see that in the future. One-on-one coaching, group master classes, more courses, natural fertility, or more in depth on goal setting or productivity or mentorship. Anyway, email me, hello@nataliecrawfordmd.com. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at nataliecrawfordmd, and you can check out the blog, nataliecrawfordmd.com. Thank you guys so much. Look out for the next 3 episodes. I am doing one-on-one interviews with Danielle, Rupa, and Pam as we talk about such thing as why did we choose OBGYN, being a woman in medicine, or thoughts on private practice life and motherhood. So look forward to that. Thanks so much.